All right, welcome back to Sonic Week. I'm moving the mic up a little bit, I apologize. So, I don't know which one of these is going out first, so I'm just gonna say it in this one, just in case this one decides to go out first. Happy New Year, happy holidays. I hope you guys have been having a good one. I hope you guys have been enjoying time with family or whoever, and having just the most spended time that you absolutely can, right? Hopefully this year is a good one for you and for me. So, let's get right into it, right? So, we did recently pass another anniversary for Sonic Frontiers. And I say recently, but it's been, at the time of this, a month and a quarter. So, yeah, it's been a good minute since Sonic Frontiers. And, we're looking forward to eventually seeing that next glimpse of the next Sonic title, the next mainline Sonic title that's going to be the next mover, right? And that's cool, that's great, and that's dandy. You know what I'm saying? Sonic Frontiers gave us a glimpse into what's, where their minds are at when it comes to the Sonic franchise now. Like, they're actually willing to take it seriously and, give a shit about the characters and stuff like that. And that's really, really awesome. And then in terms of, Sonic Shadow Generations, we finally got a glimpse of, what they could do with much more time and a higher budget. And that was literally, in the most literal sense possible, a glimpse, right? And then obviously with Sonic Racing Crossworlds, we're seeing that even in-house, they are taking care of spin-off titles as well. I mean, we'll see what happens with that going forward. But regardless, we're probably due for that next major mainline title very, very soon, right? Or maybe it'll be another 2 years, who knows? But as of right now, before we see anything, right? Because we don't really truly know anything. We haven't seen anything yet. I've thought about a couple little minute story, story things that I would love to see in this series. It doesn't have to be the next game necessarily. Maybe we get another major show, or maybe we get another major animated short or something, or maybe even in the. No, I don't want to see this in the movie because we got plenty of that in the movie. But there's other ways we can get this kind of thing across, right? And obviously, there's probably a lot of this in the comics as well, but I primarily want to see the stuff in the games, right? You'll understand what I'm talking about when I get there, right? So, for starters, for example, we haven't seen a real Knuckles v Shadow, right? One thing I really appreciate about Sonic X was that they gave us that. They gave us that little Knuckles v Shadow, and they really showcased, Shadow is stronger, sure. Well, faster mostly. But, Knuckles, if need be, he could hold his own for a hot second against him. And, Knuckles has grown a lot since then and stuff like that. We haven't seen them really interact as much as we would have liked to in a modern sense. But, Sonic X gave us a showcase of what these two were like. And even after after battling one another, Shadow in that, I love Sonic X for this. Shadow was just like, that dude was a warrior. That dude's a fighter for real. he put some respect on Knuckles' name, and I love that, you know what I'm saying? And I want to see a situation like that in the games. We haven't really seen a more massive situation in which Knuckles and Shadow needed to interact with each other specifically. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I mean, they've talked here and there, I'm sure, but we've never seen a more dire situation where these two were together. And I would love a situation in which maybe for unexplained reasons, maybe Shadow does actually need to get his hands on the Master Emerald for story purposes or something like that, and obviously Knuckles is not having it. So I don't know, I would love to see a true genuine Knuckles v Shadow fight and see how that kind of thing goes down, right? Because again, Knuckles, as we've seen, he's grown a lot. He's a strong character. He could definitely hold his own, and he's grown a lot in the last couple of years. So I would love to see. Well, I say that, but I maybe I'm just associating that with Sonic Team and stuff like that. So I don't really know. It's very clear that he's capable of a lot more than they give him credit for. So I want to see that and have a fight with Shadow, just because. This kind of bleeds right into my next point, which is the fact that I would really, really like to see more dynamics between characters without Sonic present, right? Because again, we did get a glimpse of that in Final Horizon, where whenever you were playing as Digital Tails or Amy or Knuckles, whenever you're wandering around, Uranos, they were, you could interact with them as NPCs, They had actual back and forth. They had little conversations here and there. Not as stellar as we probably would have liked it to be, and it was easily sidelined because you could easily miss those conversations and never interact with them to continue the story whatsoever. Final Horizon was lacking in a lot of different ways, but, we'll talk about that another time. But for the most part, I feel like we should definitely get more of that going forward, because we're always Sonic. Sonic is always around and stuff like that. So I definitely want to see more general interactions with these characters without Sonic presence and see what kind of dynamics they could develop. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't get enough of just Tails and Amy. You know what I'm saying? We never see enough of just, again, Knuckles and Shadow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like as both of them consider themselves like rivals of Sonic, like, I just feel like they would have a really interesting dynamic that we really haven't tapped into yet. Amongst each other, you know what I'm saying? And even like Knuckles and Eggman or Tails and Eggman. I mean, granted, we've seen a couple of fun things with Tails and Eggman here and there, especially in Racing Crossworlds. They're both like super nerds about the King Dope Don, whatever his name is, about his tech and how he runs the tournament and stuff like that, the racing tournament. And granted, even in Crossworlds, it's cool to see a lot of these little one-off lines and dynamics between all these different characters, but I want that to a much higher and longer and deeper degree than we got in Crossworlds, because these are just kind of all, for all we know, these are all like fun little throwaway things like, oh, this definitely what this character would say to this other character, you know what I'm saying? So it's fun, but I want that to a deeper level. I want that in a mainline game. I want to see more just interactions of like what, how these characters interact with one another without Sonic there, you know what I'm saying? And same with even like, there's other characters, have we ever really seen like just, no, right? We haven't really seen like just Sonic and Omega have a chit chat, you know what I'm saying? Or, I mean, in the comics, we've seen like Sonic and Rouge and stuff like that. And that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? We don't get enough of Sonic and Rouge. I think that's what's lovely about the comics and about how they treat it in the game, is they have that like fun little like flirty, like back and forth, which, is all in good fun. They're good friends. We never see that. We don't see that often enough. And I love that they have that, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I want more fun little dynamics. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. And this is probably this one is just kind of needing off that one, if we're honest, but the next thing I really want to see is an actual development between Silver and Blaze's friendship. You know what I'm saying? They introduced a dynamic that was just, after we saw that, we kind of grew up on that, and it was just raps for us, right? Silver and Blaze go hand in hand now, which doesn't even make any sense, right? Because like, I don't know, we were attached to Blaze as a character through the Rush games, right? We knew about Blaze for a while before we got 06. That's true, right? My timeline's are a little messed up. I gotta go back. But regardless, we had Blaze for a good minute, and then tying her with Silver as a dynamic was really, really fun. They kind of balance each other out, or at least that's the idea that we got, growing up on 06 and stuff like that. But we never really got the chance to explore that even more. And I feel like, doing this in a mainline game where we actually get to see their friendship and like what they mean to each other and how they got, maybe even get to know like more of how they met and how they became friends, because it seems like, Blaze being as driven as she is, it seems kind of unlikely that she would waste too much time on Silver, let alone getting to know him to a point where she knows how he can get when he's alone and stuff like that. Kind of like how, again, some of the writing in 06 is really good for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Even if the majority of the story doesn't make sense. But one of the things a lot of people did like was the potential between Silver and Blaze as friends. More than that, debatable, but as friends, I think it was really, really cool. And I would love to see that dynamics explored a little bit more, right? Another thing I would definitely love to see, something we've kind of tapped into a little bit, but I would love to see to a like maybe even darker degree in terms of like his mental. I want to see Sonic defeated at his best and see him, doubt himself a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sonic, I know Sonic's entire character is about him essentially being that guiding light for others, right? Because we it's rare, right? We've definitely seen times here and there, sure, where he's doubted himself, but for the most part, he's always been just the one to, you know, believe in himself, believe in his friends, never give up on them no matter what, and, you know, lift them up when they're down and stuff like that. And I think they did a good job of kind of like subtly, just barely hitting that nail a little bit with Frontiers, with the whole, like, you know, Sonic always picks us back up, it's time to return that favor, when he was getting corrupted and stuff like that, and Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, you know, really showed out and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So I liked that. I want to get more into that, but to an even more, like, you know, get more into his mental, like, you know, Sonic does everything possible and he could not do it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and afterwards, he is actually sitting there like, am I not enough this time? Like, what needs to happen here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe a lot of people wouldn't like something like that to a deeper degree, because, you know, Sonic's entire character would kind of go against that. But I'd like to see them challenge that a little bit. I'd like to see them challenge Sonic's just, like, clad iron mental a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Especially because you see something like Sonic and the Black Knight, one of Sonic's best written stories, by the way. Well, for Sonic as a character, you know, him not giving up on Melina and stuff like that. Like, he it doesn't matter how many times he got knocked out or knocked back, he was getting right back up every single time. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see them do something to that degree, but like actually challenge that, you know what I'm saying? And see him overcome that. I don't know. Maybe that was a little crazy, but I would definitely enjoy something like that. Speaking of Sonic specifically, Metal Sonic. I want more from Metal Sonic specifically. I want more situations in the game for Metal Sonic to really become his own character, to aside from becoming just like another Sonic. You know, I mean, I guess we kind of had that with Sonic Heroes in a way, but again, Sonic Heroes is just such a, I don't know, it's been so long now, and it's just such a like hit or miss with a lot of people when it comes to the story and the gameplay, that I feel like we definitely need another situation dedicated to Sonic, or Metal Sonic specifically, in which he learns more about himself and he becomes more of his own individual and really like delves more into that, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Metal Sonic, I feel, is going to be a really important character going forward, especially with this whole arc of Eggman truly like stepping out of his shell and becoming something of like a father figure to Sage and stuff like that, his creation, you know what I'm saying? Like, he created something that was so incredibly like self-aware and sentient as it developed, that she became her own unique character and stuff like that, even though she will slide for Eggman any day of the week, but, you know, she's still like, you know, she's so cool. She's such an important character now, and going forward, I can't see them getting rid of her. And in that same vein, I really want Metal Sonic to become, you know, that big brother for her, you know, just his own character, somebody that doesn't need to be Sonic. He's, you know, down to become something different, you know, kind of like how Shadow isn't just Sonic's rival. He's more than that. He's his own person that just so happens to have competition in Sonic every step of the way, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like Metal Sonic could definitely become that, but obviously from Eggman's, you know, side of things, the real villain type situation, you know what I'm saying? Because like Shadow, you know, you could consider him either an anti-villain or an anti-hero or whatever. I'd lean more towards hero, if we're being honest, because, you know, he's not a bad guy. He's not going to hurt somebody for the sake of hurting somebody. He'll do it if a job needs getting done, you know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. But with Metal Sonic, you know, maybe he will. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But I definitely want to see more from Metal Sonic going forward, especially like a heavy moment where, I mean, I don't know. I always think about the clip that, or I don't want to say clip, the panel that always floats around from the comics during the Metal Virus arc of him dipping into the Metal Virus and just nothing happens, because it's just like, oh God, like I really am a bot. You know what I'm saying? And that's just such a heavy moment. Like I think that's easily like one of the most subtle but like heavy moments in the entirety of the series, and I feel like not enough people like know about stuff like that or really appreciate that as much as they could. And I want to see more like that, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully down the line we could get something really, really heavy like that with Metal Sonic. And then my final thing is that I want a character in the games to really consistently piss Sonic off, right? Sonic is a D1 rage baiter. D1. Like, he has always been that dude. He will always get a rise out of you if he feels like it, and he will do it successfully almost every single time. I need the tides to be turned on Sonic a little bit. I need a character, new or old, that can really... I mean, granted, like, I don't know. Eggman is never successful with that. Shadow's never successful with that. Knuckles is not. Amy and Tails wouldn't do that. I don't know. I think maybe the only time we've really seen really successful, decently successful rage bait was from Metal Sonic, maybe in the OVA. I mean, there's probably been more times for sure, but like, I don't know, not to the degree that I want. Like, I want Sonic to actually, like, you know those little like marks that showcase you're pissed off in an anime or whatever. What are those called? The little the veins on the forehead, whatever. I want something like that for Sonic. Like, I want him to get genuinely angry for once. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see genuine anger from Sonic, and I need somebody to do it either at least one time, build up to it, or do it consistently throughout a game. Like, I feel like we don't get enough of something like that. I want to see as many different emotions as we can from this new era of Sonic, because we did really, really good with like Frontiers, and even like seeing how expressive he could be in like Dream Team and stuff like that. I feel like we could delve more into a more emotional Sonic story. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. That one might also be kind of a moot point, given the fact that I want to see, you know, a more upset Sonic defeated at his best and stuff like that. But regardless, you know, I just want to see more Sonic, more emotion, more depth than we've ever seen before. And I think that we can accomplish that if we're careful about it. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. But either way, that's about it from me. So I'm passing the mic over in your direction, and I'm gonna I want you guys to tell me everything you're thinking in the comment section below. Do you agree that these are some moments that you would like to see throughout the series? Do you feel like a couple of things here are realistic and they could drive the series forward in terms of storytelling, in terms of narrative quality and stuff like that, and you could really see heights that we've never seen before with the franchise with ideas like this? Or are you opposed to it? Nothing here is important whatsoever, and a lot of this stuff has probably been shown in the comics, so it doesn't really matter if it's shown in the games, so we don't need this at all. Tell me everything that you're thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I'm always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone. So thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!
Doing donuts in a bin. I stay funky. Battle goes wherever I am. I stay funky. I don't know who's ready to spit. Just know you're going down with my 50-hit clip. I stay funky. Honey's taking back to the crib. I stay funky. Get the club popped off like pain. I stay funky. I don't know.